What is going on, Debt Free Mafia? Hey, welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to talk about just something that is so frustrating to me that I see all too often, and the stats back it up, and it's just very, very frustrating. It's something that needs to be taken very seriously for you right now. Hey guys, if you don't know my name is Rick. I'm a financial coach. I'm the owner of the Debt Free Mafia. If you're down with the debt free vibe, if you like the idea of living debt free, if you like the idea of leaving a legacy to your children's children, if you like the idea of being in control of your money, making smart money decisions, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit like for me if this is just something that you find valuable to you, or just to support. Either way, I'd love it. But today I wanted to talk about something that is a big deal, and that is the difference between millennials and baby boomers and how much wealth they have acquired. Guys, it's not good. So really, the stat that stuck out to me, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys right off the bat, and that is that millennials only own 5% of the nation's wealth here in America. And that is just super troubling, right? A lot of people might think, oh yeah, well, millennials haven't been around very long. They haven't been able to accumulate wealth as long. Their Dogecoin hasn't solidified just yet. I'm just kidding about that last part, but that's a big, big problem because baby boomers are by far have the biggest amount of wealth in the country. And you may have heard about this, but there's a generational wealth gap going on right now. So why is that a big deal? Well, it is a big deal because we are super behind as millennials. And if you don't know this, millennials are officially into their 40s. And not only that, they are the majority of the workforce right now. So not only are they have the smallest share of wealth in the nation, we're not talking about Gen Z yet, but they have the smallest share of wealth in the nation. And they're the ones making the most money right now. Well, making the most, I should say. They're the most working right now, right? So that's a really big issue. And why that's a big issue and why I want to kind of bring that up is because we are so far behind baby boomers. So I kind of wanted to go over some stats. I got this article from CNBC that really just kind of triggered me. I was reading it. Originally, what piqued my interest, my good friend Ruslan shared a tweet talking about this, and it just it went all over me. Baby boomers, they control 53% of the country's wealth. Gen Z is over 25%. Silent generation, 17%. And of course, millennials at 5%, which is really troubling, right? And that's kind of a big deal too, because how many of you, if you're, and I'm not sitting here just trying to beat you up, but how many of you, last year who didn't have any wealth built up, who only had student loan payments, who only had car payments, who only had credit card payments? You're in the middle of this pandemic, maybe you lost your job, maybe you went through a financial hardship, whatever it might be. That hits you harder than it hit anybody else, because guess what? You don't have any money, right? You don't have money, you don't have an emergency fund, you don't have any kind of savings saved up. Millennials are really bad at saving. They really like their $5, $6, $7 coffees. It's a really big behavioral issue that's going on with millennials. And that's one thing that we talk about a lot here. I'll go ahead and kind of go on just a mini rant. When it comes to money, guys, you really, really got to understand this. This is something that I talk to with my clients all the time about. That's when it comes to winning with your money and being financially free. It's less about money. I would say 20% of the equation is knowing how to actually, or what to do with your money. Then the other 80% is your behavior with your money, right? So I think a lot of us have an unhealthy behavior with our money. It's kind of a me, consume for me. I don't want to miss out on that vacation. I don't want to miss out on eating at that spot. I don't want to miss out on having the coolest car. I want to have all those I want to have the highest credit score, whatever it might be, which is kind of funny because it seems like millennials chase high credit scores more than any generation out there, yet they're the most broke. Pretty funny to me. Coincidence also, maybe not. But anyways, so here's this big difference I kind of wanted to talk about with you guys. So let's talk about where were the baby boomers at our age, at the millennial generation. So let's rewind. We're going to go back to about 1989. So the 80s were about where we're at now, where the baby boomers were at our age. Okay, so I'm speaking all the millennials here. Gen Z, if you're watching this, please pay attention. Don't make the mistakes that millennials have made. Also, side note, millennials are the most in debt generation of all time. We have never borrowed money in human history like millennials do. It's sad. Also, so going to this, 1989 is when baby boomers were around the same age as millennials are today. They control 21% of the nation's wealth at this time. 4 times as much. more than 4 times as much, right? More than 4 times as much of wealth that they had acquired at our age by this time, of the nation's wealth. It's almost 5 times as much, really, is when you look at the math, as what millennials have today. That's crazy. That's so frustrating, right? That is so frustrating. And why do you think that is? Let me know in the comments. Why do you think millennials are so broke nowadays compared to our parents or maybe grandparents even? Why are they so broke compared to that generation? What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think. Me personally, I think we have a behavioral issue. What's that behavioral issue? I think it's very self-centered. You can do whatever you want to kind of mentality, the sense of entitlement where you worked, so you feel like you deserve a reward, right? Oh, I worked all week, well, I deserve this. Or I went to college, so I deserve to be able to treat myself, even though you got all these student loans over here that you need to be paying on. I just think there's this big behavioral disconnect, right? And maybe that's something that you might even want to ask. You ask your folks, what were you doing different than what I was doing, right? A big part of it was they weren't making all these payments that we as millennials are making. Millennials, on average, have $15,000 to $20,000 of credit card debt. Most of them have a car payment of like $405. Most of them are leasing their cell phones. Most of them are paying for every streaming service under the sun and maybe only consuming, I think it was like 3% of the content on all of these streaming services. I get it. I know you only like that one show and that's why you have that one streaming service. And also, if you think about it, we have all these different apps that have subscription based. Everything's changing to subscription based, right? And what it does is just really eats away at our cash flow every month. Every month, you got less and less cash to be able to do what you want to do because you're paying for all of these different things that are really just kind of sucking at your wallet, right? So I would encourage you guys, if this is you can change it. It's not too late, right? Especially you millennials who are in this mess, right? If you don't know me, my wife and I had over $65,000 in debt. It was student loans and personal loans that we had taken. We got really serious. We stopped eating out as much. We got onto a cash envelope budget, every dollar budget, zero-based budget, and we started allocating every single dollar that we could towards debt. So we were living as minimalistic as we could. Every single dollar that we had extra was getting thrown towards debt because we were tired of making payments. We didn't want to owe anybody anything anymore. It was not fun. We got serious for about 2.5 years. We sold some stuff to even make this happen. We prayed about it. God provided a hailstorm that totaled my truck, that gave us a insurance check of $7,500 to pay it off even faster. Guys, we got it paid off in like 2.5 years. And then we decided, you know what? We're going to keep this up. We saved up a big emergency fund. So guess what? When the pandemic hit us and people's jobs were being questioned, we didn't have to panic. We had cash set aside and we didn't have any payments. We could get hit with a left hook like that and not be so phased, right? And I want that for you. I genuinely want that for you. So if that's something that you want, please hit subscribe, hit like, follow along. We teach personal finance here. I recently polled all of my followers on Instagram. I said, hey, has our content here at the Debt Free Mafia, has it made a positive impact on your personal finances? And we got a 100% return on yes, it had made a positive impact on their finances. So if you want a positive impact on your finance, please stick around here. Love to have you. Love you being a part of the community. You don't have to be debt free to be in the mafia. You just have to have the mentality of wanting to be debt free and live that debt free lifestyle and want to leave a legacy to your children's children. Guys, I hope that video was interesting to you. I really enjoyed hanging out with you on this one, and thanks for listening to my rant. Millennials, we've got to do better here. This is something that we really need to work on, something that we really need to change. There is a generational wealth gap, and we need to address it. Guys, I appreciate you. Peace.